everybody, bonjour tout le monde. Voilà, je vous envoie de l'énergie positive dans ce moment de confinement. Juste avec la vibration de tambour, je vous dis, restez toujours positif, restez positive. Tout ce dont on a besoin, c'est de garder une vibration positive. Donc, au niveau de la pensée et au niveau de la santé mentale, c'est toujours important. Alors, je vous souhaite un bon moment de célébration et aussi un moment de réflexion et d'ouverture d'esprit, car l'histoire des Noirs ne c'est pas juste le mois de février, mais c'est chaque jour de notre vie. Okay, everybody now, put your hands together, just easy like that. Ok, on se tape dans la main, on y va. Vous allez faire ça pour les 2 minutes qui vont venir, ok? On garde le rythme, ok? Allez, c'est parti. Ok. Ne changez pas, restez juste comme ça. Réchauffez-vous, réchauffez votre corps, ainsi de suite. En faisant cela pour les 2 ou 3 minutes qui vont venir, vous allez élever la vibration de votre corps avec la circulation sanguine. Ok, c'est parti. Merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup. Ça, je pense que ça va être notre première partie. Alors, restez positifs, restons positifs et gardons l'énergie. Gardons l'énergie car tout est à l'intérieur de nous et restons toujours focalisés et c'est ce qu'on appelle le bien-être. Merci beaucoup.
Wow. Merci, Eric. Thank you, Eric, for getting things started with so much energy. And before we start anything at all, we wish to acknowledge that this event is taking place, even though it's virtually, but we are on unceded and unsurrendered Algonquin territory. So we'd like to acknowledge our Indigenous brothers and sisters and thank them for the stewardship of this beautiful part of Turtle Island.
Bon après-midi à tous et à toutes. Merci Eric pour nous avoir parti du bon pied et nous avoir réchauffés. Pour débuter, nous voulons d'abord reconnaître que cet événement a lieu sur le territoire non cédé du peuple algonquin, que nous remercions pour ce beau coin de pays
Yeah, so
Sarah.
yes, welcome to the 2021 edition of our annual Black History Ottawa launch that we organize every year. Usually we would be gathered at Ottawa City Hall or, as in years past, Library and Archives Canada. And last year, actually, we were at the Shaw Center. But, you know, we're in a pandemic, you know, COVID-19, etc. And we really wanted to make sure that we brought the community together to really kick off this celebration. So it's virtual. We thank all the people who did register and sign up and who are logged in and watching live wherever you are. And we really hope you're going to enjoy what we put together for you virtually, including the presentations and the performances.
Oui, alors bienvenue à cette édition 2021 du lancement du mois de l'histoire des Noirs qui vous est présenté par Black History Ottawa. Sarah et moi serons vos animateurs pour aujourd'hui. Nous vous remercions tous de vous joindre à nous. Cette année, à cause de la pandémie, nous devons faire notre événement un peu différemment. Donc, l'événement va être virtuel et habituellement, nous sommes soit réunis par des centaines, soit à l'Hôtel de Ville, au Centre Charles comme l'année dernière, ou à la Bibliothèque des Archives du Canada. Mais nous voulons quand même nous assurer que cette année, nous allons vous présenter quelque chose comme à toutes les années. Et puis, nous espérons que vous allez être inspirés des performances et aussi des prix qui vont être remis aux différents bâtisseurs communautaires. Donc, merci encore de vous joindre à nous. Et puis, Sarah. Est-ce qu'on est prêt pour y aller?
We're going to start with the anthem.
OK, alors allons-y.
Our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, our true north, strong and free, from far and wide. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our
Every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberties. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the day that hope unborn had died, yet with a steady become not our weary feet. Come to the place on which our fathers sign. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered, out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last. We're the white gleam of our star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray.
Right. Goosebumps, goosebumps. Thank you so much, Cheryl. C'est magnifique. Quelle voix vraiment exquise. So, for those of you who've never seen Cheryl before, never heard her sing, she's a pretty seasoned singer, songwriter, performer. She's performed with different groups, including the London Trio Plus, the Academy Choir, which sang with Diana Ross at the National Arts Center, and many, many other performances. Alors, vous pouvez appuyer Cheryl en allant voir dans les médias sociaux. Vous pouvez la suivre et voir quand il y aura un concert. Alors là, on va passer à Jean-Marie.
Oui, merci, Sarah. Et maintenant, ce que nous allons entendre de deux jeunes du groupe Impact Black Global qui vont nous lire un message puissant en vertu de la décennie des personnes d'ascendance africaine. And now we are going to hear from two young people from the group Impact Black Global. They're going to read the Black Empowerment Statement of Truth, which is for the decade of people of African descent. As many of you know, has been declared by the United Nations from 2015 to 2024.
Black Empowerment Statement of Truth. Decade of people of African descent speaking truth to the Black settlers' experiences. Our significant presence and contributions on this land predate the country of Canada by over 150 years. Indeed, up until 1961, over half of all Black people in Canada were Indigenous to Canada. Indigenous settlers to Canada include your ancestors. Learn of that. For example, William Nelson Edward Hall, born in 1827 in Horton, Nova Scotia, the first Black person, the first Nova Scotian, and the third Canadian to receive the Victoria Cross. Mr. Hall was the son of Jacob and Lucy Hall, who had escaped American slave owners in Maryland during the War of 1812, and were brought to freedom in Nova Scotia by the British Royal Navy as part of the Black refugee movement. Hall volunteered for the Royal Navy in February 1852 and fought in the Crimean War, serving ashore in a naval brigade from Rodney at the battles of Inkerman and Sevastopol in 1854. He was awarded the Victoria Cross in 1859 for his actions in the Siege of Lucknow during the Indian Rebellion. Hall and an officer from his ship continued to load and fire a 24-pounder gun at the walls after the rest of the party had been killed or injured by the defenders. People of African descent are resilient, brave, spiritual, and master builders who have been central to the campaign for equality and an equitable Canada. The goal is African Canadian truth-telling starting today. So remember, everybody, learn of this.
La décennie des personnes d'ascendance africaine parle de la vérité sur les expériences des colons noirs. Notre présence et nos contributions sur cette terre précèdent la Constitution du Canada, il y a environ 150 ans. En effet, jusqu'en 1961, plus de la moitié des Noirs au Canada étaient des Autochtones. Vos ancêtres faisaient donc partie des premiers Autochtones du Canada. Souvenez-vous de cela. Notre sueur, nos compétences, nos expériences et nos contributions prises et utilisées sans consentement et gratuitement ont construit et façonné le début du Canada. Souvenez-vous de cela. Un bon exemple est Myrta Lapierre, professeure retraitée en sciences infirmières qui a franchi un à un les obstacles de l'intégration pour devenir la première femme francophone à obtenir un diplôme en sciences infirmières de l'Université d'Ottawa. Originaire d'Haïti, Myrta est arrivée au Canada en 1956 et après avoir obtenu ses diplômes, elle a enseigné les sciences infirmières dans les hôpitaux puis les collèges. Puis les soins de base aux niveaux immigrants, incluant quelques professionnels formés à l'étranger. Parallèlement à sa profession, à titre de bénévole, elle a habilité 1000 immigrants pour les aider à suivre et à réussir dans les systèmes de santé et d'éducation de la province. Elle a sensibilisé les étudiants, le personnel enseignant et de première ligne à la communication interculturelle. Elle a même formé le personnel de certains centres communautaires et de santé à la communication interculturelle, en plus de les sensibiliser à la stigmatisation liée à l'anémie falciforme et aux en VIH-Sida de la communauté afro-caribéenne. Son brillant parcours lui a valu l'Ordre de l'Ontario en 2018. Les personnes d'ascendance africaine sont tenaces, courageuses et croyantes. Des bâtisseurs exemplaires qui ont joué un rôle de premier plan dans les luttes en faveur d'un Canada plus juste et équitable. Le nouvel objectif est de raconter la vérité sur les Afro-Canadiens accomplis d'aujourd'hui. Souvenez-vous de cela. Merci.
Oui, souvenez-vous de cela. Learn of that and remember that. Thank you very much to Cece and Steve from Impact Black Global for that very timely reminder. Et maintenant, nous avons le message de notre ancien président, Godwin Ifedi. We'll not hear the message from Black History Ottawa for Black History Month from our past president, Godwin Ifedi.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Black History Ottawa, I wish to welcome you all to the launch of the 2021 Black History Month celebrations. The past year has been one full of unpredictability and turmoil. The COVID-19 pandemic has suddenly changed our individual and collective worlds in a way that none of us would have imagined a few months earlier. Apart from the pandemic, the events that shaped the year 2020 are still fresh in our memory. The brutal murder of George Floyd in the US, the Black Lives Matter march on Parliament Hill, the loss of jobs for thousands of Canadians, the cancelled community and private events, the list goes on and on. Like many other individuals and organizations, Black History Ottawa has responded to the pandemic by using technology to provide online programs. In our case, to celebrate Emancipation Day in August, Remembrance Day in November, and today, the launch of the 2021 Black History Month celebrations in Ottawa. Black History Ottawa has also responded to requests from individuals, educational institutions, government and community-based organizations by providing information, presentations, and educational resources to increase their knowledge of Black history and the lived experience of anti-Black racism. Thanks to the Black Solidarity Fund, we were able to raise funds for the future online programming like this launch. We would very much like to thank our many donors and supporters for their generosity. Black History Ottawa continues to highlight the United Nations Decade for People of African Descent every chance we get in our messaging, our presentations, and our ongoing community outreach activities. We are grateful to those agencies and organizations that have signed on to this important document and declaration, and all those that have not done so to do so now. Our theme for the 2021 Black History Month is Our Canadian Story, Still on the Front Lines. This theme was chosen to highlight the ongoing and sustained efforts of Black frontline workers and human rights advocates fighting two pandemics, one, COVID-19, and two, anti-Black racism. We hope that this message will be reflected in all Black History Month events presented in Ottawa in 2021. We invite all of you to attend as many as possible of the 2021 Black History Month events, which can be found on our website, www.blackhistoryottawa.org. In conclusion, Black History Ottawa wishes all of you a happy Black History Month, and do stay safe and well during these difficult times. Thank you.
Fidi. Thank you very much, Godwin, for giving us this message. And now we're going to hear for some goodwill messages from some of our political leaders. Nous allons entendre maintenant des messages de circonstance de certains de nos dirigeants politiques.
Hi, folks. Greg Fergus, Member of Parliament and President of the Parliamentary Black Caucus. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to Black History Month 2021, put on by Black History Ottawa. This year it's going to be different. Rather than us getting together, as we normally do, we're going to have to participate online. But that's okay. We can show that our community still cares by coming together in a virtual setting. This year has been a tough year for the Black community. We've seen anti-Black racism, violence, and we've seen the disproportionate effects of the pandemic upon the Black community. But we've also seen positive developments. We've seen people from not only from the Black community, but from all over come and support and say that Black lives matters. We've seen government initiatives from the federal government, provincial, as well from the city, to supporting once again and finding out a place for making sure that Black people are not disproportionately hurt by the pandemic. And we've just seen a real change in attitudes. People have said, enough is enough. Let's make sure that everyone is treated well, and let's fight anti-Black racism together. Je suis très fier de faire partie de la communauté des Noirs ici dans la région de la capitale nationale. Et je trouve que les manifestations d'amour qu'on a vues en faveur de la communauté noire me font chaud au cœur. J'espère que vous allez participer ce mois-ci en ligne, que vous allez partager ce lien avec vos réseaux sociaux pour qu'on puisse se rassembler virtuellement pour appuyer la communauté des Noirs. So I hope that you'll be able to join in great numbers during virtually during this month, and for us to share this link with our social media networks, so that we can all come together and show that Black lives really do matter. Have a happy Black History Month.
Hello, Ottawa. I am so pleased to have this opportunity to join you for your opening of Black History Ottawa. The Ontario theme, history, who we are, really highlights the pride in our history. It highlights the pride that we want to instill in our youth. It highlights the pride that we want to share with other Canadians.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we tried to pre-record things, and once in a while we're going to have glitches, but that's not going to spoil the celebration. We do want you to hear the full message of Senator Wanda Thomas Bernard from the East Preston part of Nova Scotia, because her message is very important. Alors, nous nous excusons quand même de contretemps. Nous allons vous faire réécouter la sénatrice Wanda Thomas Bernard. Ce sont des choses qui arrivent, et puis j'espère que vous saurez être patient et puis être indulgent avec nous. This is our first, this is our first, and might not be our last virtual event. So we're just trying to get Senator Bernard back online. In the meantime, what I can do is remind you, you saw earlier the MP from Hull, Hull Elmer. Yes, I was going to say Gatineau, but Gatineau is another MP. Hull Elmer, Greg Fergus, talking to you about joining in Black celebrations. Well, would you know it, his city of Gatineau are having their Black History Month launch right after hours, so I hope you're going to look up their link as well. J'espère que vous allez aussi suivre le lancement à Gatineau après notre lancement ici. And you've seen the ticker going across your screen with our website, blackhistoryottawa.org. We have a lot of events and they are still coming in. Please do continue to send in your events and we'll just update the website as we get them. So I'm not sure if we're ready with this, with the senator. We're ready with the senator. So let's have the senator back again.
Hello, Ottawa. I am so pleased to have this opportunity to join you for your opening of Black History Ottawa. The Ontario theme, History, Who We Are, really highlights the pride in our history. It highlights the pride that we want to instill in our youth. It highlights the pride that we want to share with other Canadians. I encourage you to use this Black History Month as a time to listen and learn about our history. And then during the remainder of 2021, I invite you to share your knowledge of Black Canadian history, and I invite you to act. We will achieve racial justice when we are all working collectively to break the systemic barriers that block the progress of African Canadians. This year, while we are working hard to find ways to manage the pandemic of COVID, let's also commit to find ways to dismantle the pandemic of anti-Black racism. Happy Black History Month.
Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall, but you have never failed yet. Waiting for change to come, knowing the battle's won. No, you have never failed me yet. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail. No, you never fail. I know the night won't last. Your word will come to pass. My heart will sing your praise again. Oh, Jesus, you're still enough. God, keep me within your love. Yes, my heart will sing. It will sing your praise again. Hey, your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail. never failed us. No, you've never failed us yet. I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way when there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe that God, I'll see you do it again. God, you made a way, even when there was no way. God, I just believe. God, I believe in you, that you're moving us from wonder to wonder, and from miracle to miracle, and from strength to strength, and from help to help. 'Cause Father, you've never failed us. God, your promise stands now and forever. Father, you never, never, never failed. No, you never, never, never. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. We're still in your hands. This is our confidence. You never fail. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. God, we are still in your hands. You are our confidence. You never, God, you never fail. God, you never fail. You've never failed us yet. And your promise still stands. You never fail.
Ooh, Makeda. I was just telling Jean-Marie that when I watch Makeda's videos or hear her sing, I'm like this, okay? Because that girl can't sing, not sing, sing. Quelle voix puissante, Makeda Cosper. Makeda Cosper qui évolue depuis plusieurs années sur la scène musicale, mais surtout dans le milieu du gospel. Makeda can be heard at Transforming Life Center or during any of the performances by Transforming Life Music. Bravo, Makeda. So more of our leaders wanted to send us their best wishes, and so let's listen to some of their reflections. Écoutons encore d'autres dirigeants politiques.
Greetings on behalf of the Green Party of Canada and our members. I'm so honored to have the opportunity to say a few words to the Black History Society of Ottawa, and thank you so much for the invitation. As we approach another Black History Month, it's another opportunity to take stock of how far we have come and how much more there still is left to do. With the election of Kamala Harris in the United States, and with my election as the first Black leader of a federal party with seats in the House, we see some of the promise of our future unfolding in front of us, and that is incredibly encouraging. At the same time, during the same period, we have seen the creeping influence of racial supremacy. We have seen the weaknesses in our democracy with respect to equality and systemic racism. We have seen it cost people their lives. And so as we reflect on the year ahead and how we can best celebrate and honor all those who have come before us, all of our history and all of our potential, I encourage each of us to think about the ways that we can bring full fulfillment to the dream of equality, to the dream of fulfilling our potential by getting involved in our communities, by raising our voices, by standing up to injustice, by ending the silence and demanding that all peoples who live in this country be treated with equality and with justice. Thank you.
February is Black History Month. We take this opportunity to honor and celebrate the incredible accomplishments of Ontario's Black community leaders and trailblazers, both past and present. Their accomplishments in every field, from the arts, entertainment, and sports to education, science, business, and politics, have helped shape Ontario's history, culture, and economy. Black History Month is an important opportunity to be inspired and learn from these incredible role models in our communities and how we can build a fair, more just society for all. Our strength as a province comes from our diversity and inclusiveness. Let's continue learning and working together to build a better future for all Ontarians.
Hello. On behalf of your official opposition NDP, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Black History Month. Of course, Black History Month looks a bit different this year, as we're all missing the chance to connect face-to-face and celebrate together. But throughout this pandemic, I've been so thankful for the strong example of Black communities and leaders across Ontario. This past year, Black Ontarians and Black people around the globe have led the way in the struggle for justice, equity, and change. From education to our justice system to the disproportionate health and economic impacts of COVID-19 on Black Ontarians, New Democrats have been proud to stand with Black Ontarians in holding this government to account. And we'll continue fighting alongside Black Ontarians for a provincial strategy that addresses anti-Black racism and racial equity in education, in healthcare, in the justice system, and in our economic recovery, both during the pandemic and beyond. 2 years ago, as part of my ongoing commitment to build Black perspectives and experiences into our work on every file at the legislature, New Democrats launched the first ever Ontario Black Caucus. And every day, we're building on that work, including recruiting, supporting, and empowering Black candidates to run and win in elections with initiatives like our new BIPOC Victory Fund. Together, I know we can form a government in 2022 with many strong community-rooted Black leaders at the caucus and cabinet table. A government that works to tear down the barriers to power, education, and resources that continue to exist for Black families. A government that celebrates Black history and joins hands with Black leaders of yesterday, today, and the next generation to build a more just, equitable, and prosperous Ontario for all. So thank you. Merci beaucoup. Miigwech, and happy Black History Month.
I'm Lisa MacLeod, Ontario's Minister for Heritage, Sport, Tourism and Culture Industries. I'm also the proud MPP for Nepean. I'm delighted to bring greetings on behalf of the Ontario government today to celebrate Black History Month and all of the remarkable achievements of Ottawa's Black community. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention we are just celebrating in recent days Lincoln Alexander Day here in the province of Ontario. He is Canada's first Black cabinet minister, first Black MP, and of course, Ontario's first Black lieutenant governor. And to all of those recipients of the Lincoln Alexander Awards, I want to offer my heartfelt congratulations for the work they're doing to achieve racial justice here in our city and throughout the entire province. I know these gains have been long, hard fought, and we'll continue to support our community to make it stronger, better, more just, and equal for everyone. So again, my heartiest congratulations for Black History Month. I wish we were again together in person. I remember last year was so exciting and vibrant, and we got to see Ottawa's first Black police chief, Peter Slowly, in attendance, as well as so many other remarkable individuals who have created an amazing cultural fabric right here in our nation's capital, our hometown, the city of Ottawa. All the very best.
Wow, those are some really amazing messages from our leaders. And we're not done with our leaders because we're going to be hearing from our mayor, Mayor Watson, followed by
Chief Peter Slowly. Donc, merci beaucoup pour ces messages très inspirants. Nous avons entendu les mots. Nous allons aussi vous suivre pour voir les actions qui vont suivre. Donc, maintenant, nous allons entendre un message, la proclamation officielle par le maire Jim Watson, suivi du chef de police Peter Slowly.
Hello, my name is Jim Watson. On behalf of the City of Ottawa and City Council, it's my honor to proclaim February 2021 as Black History Month in Ottawa. Au nom de la Ville d'Ottawa et de mes collègues du Conseil municipal, j'ai l'honneur de proclamer le mois de février 2021, mois de l'histoire des Noirs à Ottawa. Black History Month in Canada presents us the opportunity to learn about the contributions and the importance of Black Canadians to our history and our communities. Our Canadian story is still on the front lines is this year's theme that recognizes the incredible work so many people in our community who are helping us get through this COVID-19 crisis. Unfortunately, we're not able to gather in person this year, but we can meet virtually to share ideas and celebrate Black excellence. I want to take this opportunity to thank Black History Ottawa and to recognize President June Gervin for being a tireless leader in the community and for all you do to promote understanding and social justice. I also want to thank the organizers and the many people tuning into the official opening ceremonies for contributing to our strong and unified multicultural society here in the nation's capital. Black History Month is an opportunity to increase the public's knowledge and understanding of the achievements of Canadians of African descent. Cette organisation s'efforce de mieux faire connaître et apprécier les réalisations des Canadiens d'ascendance africaine. Notre multiculturalisme et notre diversité sont source d'une force et de fierté dans notre ville et notre pays. Our multiculturalism and our diversity are a true source of strength and pride in our city and our country. Celebrating Black History Month is now part of the Canadian identity and reminds us of the importance of community engagement. Our municipal government plays a leading role in identifying and challenging systemic racism. As the Mayor of Ottawa, I remain committed to making our city a better place to all residents of our city. We're committed to being inclusive and responsive and to ensuring all people are served equitably. Nous nous sommes engageants à être inclusifs et attentifs aux besoins de tous. Nous veillons à ce que tous les résidents reçoivent un service équitable. I want to thank Councillor Ralston King for his leadership in creating an anti-racism secretariat for the city. And I also want to thank Yursa Osman, the city's anti-racism specialist, for her dedicated work. The Secretariat recently launched a public engagement survey as it works to increase public awareness of systemic racism and provide tools for anti-racism education. The Anti-Racism Secretariat will host a series of virtual public engagement sessions with diverse communities of racialized residents. This will also help us to plan targeted actions, and I encourage everyone to provide input on how the Secretariat can address systemic racism. Please visit the Anti-Racism and Ethnocultural Relations Initiative section on engagement.ottawa.ca for more information. Thank you once again for this opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate Black history. And now it's my honor to present this proclamation. Merci encore de nous permettre de souligner et de célébrer l'histoire des Noirs. J'ai maintenant l'honneur de vous présenter la proclamation suivante. Therefore, I, Jim Watson, Mayor of the City of Ottawa, do hereby proclaim February 2021 Black History Month in Ottawa, recognizing the work of all who are combating COVID-19 and anti-Black racism Par conséquent, je, Jim Watson, maire de la ville d'Ottawa, proclame par la présente le mois de février 2021, mois de l'histoire des Noirs à Ottawa, reconnaissance ainsi le travail de toutes les personnes qui luttent contre le COVID-19 et le racisme anti-noir. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Wow. Okay. Let's hear from a leader that Mayor Watson actually did mention in his speech. Do we have Chief Peter Slowly of the Ottawa Police Service? There you are, sir. So it's our
Thank
pleasure.
You very much. Hello, bonjour à tous. I want to thank the Black History Society of Ottawa, along with President June Gervin and all the organizers of today's event. I'm very glad to be here. I know that later on in the program, there'll be a recognition for the work of the Ottawa Police Services Board, which includes folks like Councillor Ralston King, but I'll be presented to Chair Diane Deems for the board's official recognition of the United Nations Decade for People of African Descent. I think that's another clear indication of the commitment of the Police Services Board, and indeed this police service, for promoting justice and inclusion for all, but particularly in recognition of the challenges and historical context of Blacks in Canada. I bring greetings from all members of the Ottawa Police Service, and I want to give you and assure you of our full commitment to continue to work with you, all members of Ottawa, the Black community in Ottawa, to improve public trust in the Ottawa Police Service, to improve our ability to deliver the best quality of services to you and to all members of this city. I remember this time last year, I was visiting Toronto for the first time after leaving to take my position here. And I drove back up from my parents' place. It took me about 6 hours in an ice storm. I had an inspiring, amazing session at last year's event in person, and I wish we could gather in person. After the event, I got back in my car and drove back to the city and sat with my family and talked about the vibrant, amazing, strong, courageous, and committed community that I had the honor and privilege to be their chief of police and to work with them. I remain committed to this day and to every day that I will hold office, committed to working with you to build a more safe, just, and inclusive city and society. So once again, happy Black History Month to you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. God bless you.
Good job.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chief. We are very, very blessed to have a leader like yourself who is that committed, not just to our community, but to equality and equity for all of our citizens, and to really live up to the credo of serve and protect. Merci, Monsieur le Chef de Police. Jam?
Oh, now we are entering a part that is very, very, every year, very well awaited for. It's one of the highlights of our event. It is when we unveil the Canada Post Black History Month stamp. Comment nous allons faire cette année? Eh bien, notre amie Liz Wong et toute son équipe à Post Canada, ils ont préparé quelque chose de spécial pour le dévoilement officiel du thème de Black History Month par Post Canada. Oui, 2 thèmes cette année.
C'est 2 thèmes.
C'est ça. Alors, allons-y, montrons la présentation de Liz Wong et de son équipe à Post Canada.
Hello, my name is Liz Wong, Stamp Design Manager with Canada Post. Canada Post is proud to be one of our country's storytellers. Avec notre programme des timbres poste, on a le privilège de raconter les histoires des personnes, des événements et des réalisations qui font du Canada un pays exceptionnel. C'est aussi une occasion de refléter la diversité et le caractère inclusif du Canada. Aujourd'hui, j'ai l'honneur de dévoiler la 13e émission de notre série de timbres consacrés au mois de l'histoire des Noirs. This year, we are paying tribute to the brave pioneers who overcame harrowing conditions to settle 2 historic communities in Canada. Escaping slavery after the War of 1812, a wave of American refugees fled to New Brunswick and established the small community of Willow Grove in 1817. Près d'un siècle plus tard, vers 1910, les immigrants fuyant l'oppression dans le sud des États-Unis fondent la communauté de Amber Valley dans le nord de l'Alberta. Both groups faced harsh climates, unforgiving land that was difficult to farm, and continued racism. But they persevered and for a time created thriving free communities. Their descendants live on across Canada today. It is my pleasure to unveil our Black History Month stamps for 2021.
Ayo, ayo, eh. Ayo, ayo. Ayo, 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 oh, oh. Ayo, ayo, eh. Ayo, ayo, oh. Ayo, 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 No, talk to me. My friend will talk to me. Say something. What? What? What did you say? Hey. Again. Do you hear that? Okay, so then what? Yeah? Okay. So this is our story. This is our month. What do you say? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time we have to go. We have to move into the whole vibration that is ours. The Black History Month is our time. Let's vibrate. Let's elevate our frequency. Let's heal ourselves with our tradition. Let's heal ourselves with our culture. Look up and face the destiny that is ours.
Yes. Ha What? You're
Eric, I'm ready for my lessons, right? Whenever you're
where
ready.
did your drum come from? What is that?
I'm going to take lessons from Eric. I hope you all heard that, felt that at home. And like Eric said, you felt the vibrations.
Yeah.
Before Eric, we had the presentation from Liz Wong in Canada Post. Just a quick reminder that you could also send us a message on our website. We will be able to send you a digital copy of those stamps. Usually, we distribute those at our event, but this year, they'll be made available to you digitally. Pour ceux et celles qui sont intéressés à avoir une copie des thèmes de Post Canada, vous pouvez nous envoyer un message sur notre site et puis nous allons vous envoyer une version électronique. Habituellement, nous donnons ça durant notre événement, mais cette année, ils sont disponibles électroniquement. Et puis maintenant, nous allons aussi entendre d'un autre de nos partenaires qui nous supporte depuis 2015. RBC has been a strong supporter of Black History Ottawa since 2015. We started with the Black History Month essay. This sponsored the Youth Leadership Award. And this year, we have something a little special worked out with them. We call it the Top 20 of 2020, but I won't tell you too much about that for now. Nous allons entendre maintenant le représentant de RBC qui nous supporte depuis 2015 et puis qui sont nos commanditaires officiels pour la présentation de cet événement. Alors, nous allons entendre de Nadège Saint-Félix de RBC.
Bonjour, supporters of Black History Ottawa organization. My name is Nadège Saint-Félix, and I'm an RBC commercial account manager, a wife, a mom, a sister, a friend, still fairly new to Ottawa, but more importantly, Black every day. I first want to thank the Black History Organization, JM, and the board of directors for nimbly pivoting to virtual so that we're still able to inaugurate Black History Month like we've come to look for the past several years. 2020 was one special year. Today is the eve of Black History Month. We want to acknowledge and recognize the accomplishments of Black Canadians, the organizations they represent, and the key roles they've played, especially this past year, in building and shaping a diverse and inclusive society across communities in Canada. We hope the world was watching. I mentioned that earlier, I'm Black every day. Black History Month is my opportunity to unapologetically celebrate my concentrated melanin and give gratitudes to the kings, queens, pioneers, and trailblazers who've chartered before me so that my journey brings me further, so that I may be that inspiration for the next generation. I remember growing up in the West Island in Montreal, trying to fit in because somehow I was made to feel that I wasn't enough. I moved to Toronto and there I was too much. I moved to BC, and there I missed me and sought my roots. And that is when Black History Month took that much of an importance. I needed to see myself as a person, not just different, not just looking like the media portrayed, but I needed to be visible and see my reflection in others. And that is when I truly started to educate myself and simply be. We have to look beyond what is visible and see the person. Chances are you will want to meet this person, break bread with this person, and invite them in your space to listen as this person relates their journey that they're undertaking. Stories is how history was shared, and through sharing our stories, we will embrace our diversity and open ourselves to others. Obviously, this will not happen tomorrow, but we are making strides faster than before. It would have taken the tragic year of 2020 for the world to realize the work ahead. I'm proud that RBC supports the movement ahead as the stewards of our community's financial well-being. We are committed to fostering a diverse and inclusive community. We have been a proud supporter of Black History Ottawa for 6 years. We are a proud partner of the Afro-Caribbean Mentorship Program in Ottawa. We have and are partnering with many organizations through RBC Future Launch Program, our largest ever commitment to unlock the potential of young people of all backgrounds to drive Canada's economic and social prosperity. We've launched the Black Professional Network across RBC, and I'm a proud steering committee member for Ontario North and East. Our mission is to enable the success of Black professionals and our allies to help the Black communities prosper. We will engage our leaders in dialogue and education. We will activate mentoring and harness the potential of our Black professionals and allies so that we are able to connect our Black communities to the resources they need to prosper organically and sustainably. Today, I am here as an RBC sponsor representative of the Black History Ottawa Top 20 of 2020. These 20 organizations and individuals have truly made an impact and drove meaningful conversation, action, and difference in a challenging and unprecedented year. I commend you all. I know it was exhausting, emotionally draining, and often frustrating, but your light shined through and the impact continues to be felt. You're clearing the path for future generations every day. Congratulations to all the organizations acknowledged today. I am completely in aspiration by you. On behalf of RBC and myself, happy Black History Month, and thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Oui, merci beaucoup, Nadège. Thank you so much, Nadège, for not just supporting Black History Ottawa and our programs, but all the other organizations that you mentioned and the many others we didn't even get to hear about, n'est-ce pas, Jean-Marie?
Oui, et puis ABC continue de travailler avec nous et de supporter plusieurs organisations de la communauté. Et donc, nous allons vous présenter cette année une initiative spéciale qu'on a commencé avec eux autres, qu'on a intitulée les Top 20 of 2020.
Yes, so she did talk about the people who really, stepped up this year, and we thought it might be interesting. Usually we have a slide show that we do. This year, the slideshow really celebrates the true heroes of this pandemic, the folks who cared for vulnerable seniors and sick patients, operated all manner of public transportation, kept food and supplies on store shelves, feverishly worked away in labs to process, those tests, yes, or to develop, vaccines, and so many heroes who made this crisis that much more tolerable, n'est-ce pas? Oui.
Oui, bien sûr. Et puis, nous allons vous montrer aussi nous allons aussi supporter les différentes organisations, qui ont travaillé très fort durant cette pandémie, non seulement COVID-19, mais ce qu'on a vu aussi avec l'antiracisme. When the pandemic hit, these groups of volunteers jumped into action to provide free meals, masks, gloves, and as well, we had people that acted in the political arena as well.
That's right.
So,
and educators and people in the media.
In the media. So this is how we broke down the different people that we're going to recognize.
Yeah.
And
there's no numbers. You'll notice that we didn't number
anything.
We just sort of focused on 20 that sort of stood out to us. And it's not exhaustive. So if you don't see yourself in it, it doesn't
Yes.
mean we don't appreciate. These are just the ones that really stood out. Les personnes et les organismes que vous allez voir dans notre présentation se sont vraiment distingués par leurs efforts extraordinaires en temps de pandémie. Et oui, on dit Top 20 of 2020, mais si vous n'êtes pas dans la présentation, ça ne veut pas dire que vos efforts
Ne sont pas remarqués.
ne sont pas remarqués et que
Oui.
nous ne les reconnaissons pas.
Mhm.
C'est juste qu'il fallait vraiment réduire notre...
Un travail très, très, très
Très
difficile.
difficile,
Oui.
très difficile.
Oui.
So, let's go. We'll start with the community support. Okay, so let's stay with the community support because you did see some organizations up there, and I'm sure you're wondering why they're up there. You saw ACAO up there because ACAO and Equal Chance did support vulnerable people and helped with food security because a lot of people, lost their jobs or were already struggling and were struggling even more with food. So they organized food drives and food hampers and boxes, etc., and distributed them throughout our Black community. There are also organizations that are like Presidential and ACMP, right?
ACMP, who really, so what they do mainly is mental health with young people, Presidential as well. They teach leadership. So again, when we looked at the categories, we know there's a lot more organizations that help with those things. We had to come with 20, but these really organizations.
They really went above and beyond, and we really, really thank them for
Oui.
that.
Donc, nous vous remercions tous. Nous savons qu'il y a d'autres organisations qui pourraient être incluses dans cette catégorie, mais nous avons choisi ces 5 qui se sont vraiment distingués.
And then, of course, activism. So I'll let you start us off with the political activism.
Yeah, political activism. So we all remember what happened when we all saw that video. And Ottawa, a city that usually we say there, we had a march on June 5th, and many people turned up. And we had some young people just step up to the plate, organize it, and we all saw that how well it turned. So no justice until peace. Coalition, we are one of the organizations that we recognize under political and activism.
And of course, the Justice for Abdirahman Coalition, who were already fighting the injustice of police violence and brutality, following the death of the late Abdirahman Abdi. But their case was ongoing. The officer was charged. That was happening during the pandemic.
Exactly.
So you can just imagine. So for them to find the courage and the strength to come out and really make their voices heard and remind people that what happened with George Floyd in Minnesota happens in Canada and in Ottawa.
In Ottawa, yes, right here in our city.
Oui. Alors, merci beaucoup pour le vaillant militants là qui sont sortis dans la rue pour faire entendre nos voix.
Et ils ont pris toutes les précautions nécessaires durant la pandémie avec les masques, ils ont distribué de l'eau, ainsi de suite. C'était très bien organisé. Qui d'autre a-t-on dans cette catégorie?
Well, there's political activism and advocacy because there's the activism that happens in the street, and then there's the activism that happens in meetings with political leaders and influencers and people who can actually change policy and change laws. And so while there were the protests in the street, there were the protests in boardrooms and Zoom meetings, etc. And we had a lot of wonderful people and organizations who were doing very difficult work that they've been doing since before the pandemic. So let's see
Mhm.
who we have in this category.
Oui, donc au niveau de l'activisme, nous avons ceux qui ont protesté, qui ont manifesté dans la rue, mais nous avons aussi des organismes qui sont dans les réunions, qui sont sur les conseils, qui eux aussi poussent pour des changements,
Oui.
parce qu'on sait que le changement, ça se fait à deux niveaux. Il faut du monde dans la rue, mais il faut aussi du monde dans les salles de réunion et qui sont bien placés pour pouvoir avancer les changements.
C'est ça, avancer notre cause. Alors,
oui.
The Parliamentary Black Caucus that you saw up there is chaired by the Member of Parliament for Elmer, Greg Fergus, who you heard earlier. And Greg and our Black politicians and their allies up on Parliament Hill were busy pushing for different programs. I just, at one point, I couldn't keep up anymore. There was support for small businesses because, of course, those were hit very hard.
Yes.
There was support for mental health services, very, very important. And then at the same time, there was the pandemic of anti-Black racism in the federal public service. You know, we are, cette ville est une ville fédérale, une ville politique, une ville de fonctionnaires. Alors, the Black Parliamentary Caucus, with the help of many community members and some community groups, were doing that work. The other one is the UNPAD Push Coalition. The UNPAD Push Coalition, you know, we've been talking to you about the UN Decade for Peoples of African Descent. And these guys are actually pushing the objectives on the ground and making sure that this government of Canada and governments across the country are actually working towards living up to the objectives of this decade.
UNPAD Push Coalition, nous avons entendu plus tôt dans le programme de CCST qui nous ont récité le Black Empowerment Statement of Truth. Donc, si vous voulez savoir, si vous voulez le lire vous-même, vous pouvez aller sur le site de UNPAD Push Coalition qui aussi travaille au niveau de l'activisme politique pour l'avancement des Canadiens de race noire.
So that's the frontline support, yes. And of course, we can't forget the 613-819 Black Hub. My goodness, the work that is done by a very small but mighty team, Robin Brown, Richard Sharp, Lise Pascal, Inamucho, and all of those people who have been working more on the municipal level. So everything from attending town hall meetings and making sure that the Black voices and interests are heard there. They also supported a young man who was a victim of bullying and went all the way to, I believe it was it Renfrew or some...
In Russell.
In Russell, there you go,
actually,
I'm sorry, yes, Russell, to support his mother. Yeah.
Donc, 613-819 Hub est un autre organisme qui est sur le terrain, qui agit plus au niveau municipal, au niveau de la ville d'Ottawa, et qui ont, quand il y a plus de différents événements, ils sont impliqués. Ils sont là pour supporter, comme quand il y a eu ce jeune garçon à Russell qui a été victime d'intimidation et tout. Alors, c'est une petite équipe, mais le travail qu'ils font est énorme et ils sont très efficaces.
Alors, bravo et merci. Merci infiniment. And next we have business, yes, business initiatives on the front line, because as all of you know, small businesses, even big businesses, were very hard hit by all of the closures and lockdowns and all kinds of measures and having to buy new sanitation and equipment and, you know, hand hygiene equipment,
open,
and masks,
close,
and opening, and, you know, the uncertainty around that, the inability to access the funding that the government would announce every 3 to 4 days and that sort of thing. And wouldn't you know it? You know how Black people are just incredibly resilient? Let's see the
who we have on that list.
Yes,
okay.
who we have in this category. So first we have the amazing Tracy and Risa Solomon St. Louis. Tracy Solomon and Risa Solomon St. Louis. So, you know, we're used to, especially in the spring and the summer, we're used to going to all these craft markets, etc.
Exactly, yes.
Where our Black artisans, pretty much that's prime time for them. No markets, no public gatherings, no events, no nothing. So all of a sudden, people were stuck with their products with no way to really market them effectively. And Tracy and Risa to the rescue with Afrotecture. I don't know how they pull this off, because if you know anything about trying to get to rent a location in the Byward Market in Ottawa, I don't know, somehow they managed to do that and bring together different artisans. There you can see some of the wonderful, beautiful Afrocentric products. And I believe Kalkidan Asefa, that's another thing that was great about our business community during this pandemic, how we supported each other. So Risa and Tracy had this space, and they hired Kalkidan Asefa to do this beautiful mural, and the rest is history. So basically this, okay, so this is the physical, but it's an online shopping platform.
Exactly, yes.
So if you're watching and if you're like me and you love this stuff, you can get online and buy it, okay? You can get online and buy it and support our ads.
Oui, Afrotecture, une très belle initiative. Comme vous savez, avec la pandémie, nous n'avons pas le marché d'artisans qu'on a habituellement dans le marché bail. Alors, Tracy et Risa se sont mis, ils se sont dit comment peut-on supporter nos artistes, nos artisans. Alors, ils ont ouvert ce portail en ligne où on peut aller magasiner. Et puis, Sarah, je sais, elle a été...
J'ai été 2 fois, Jean-Marie.
Oui, alors, très belle initiative. Ça vous montre que même durant des temps difficiles, c'est possible de se réimaginer un peu et puis de continuer. Et c'est un peu l'histoire des différents organismes dont on parle aujourd'hui.
C'est ça. So the next up in this category, Black Ottawa Connect. Oh my gosh.
Not a business,
it's
but...
not a business.
But that's where we are connected. That's where people that have businesses were able to promote themselves.
Yes.
They're up to, I don't know how many members right now, but if you need something, more than likely, that's where you need to get.
And you know what? It's not just businesses and products. It's also services.
Services, yes.
I mean, I go on there, I've been going on there throughout the pandemic when people are asking, you know, to be referred for this and that service. Meron Bere, thank you. This was really what we needed during this pandemic.
Ouais, une très belle page sur Facebook, Black Ottawa Connect. Beaucoup d'informations, services. Si vous voulez savoir, si vous cherchez quelque chose, juste demander et sûrement quelqu'un va vous répondre.
Des services, des médecins, des
avocats,
tuteurs, des avocats, des agents immobiliers, you name it, it's there, and it's Black owned, Black owned.
Great job.
Great job. Thank you.
So I think business, let's talk a little bit about the arts, because
oh my gosh, you know how we are Black people with our arts. It's our food. It is our vitamin. It is our spiritual vitamin. Art,
inspiring
culture.
Our mind.
That's what inspires us. That's what lifts our spirits.
Yes.
Et je dois avouer que y a beaucoup de gens qui faisaient différentes choses. Par exemple, les artistes. Qui ont mis des concerts en ligne, par exemple, des productions en ligne quand toutes les salles étaient fermées. Mais il a fallu qu'on choisisse vraiment.
Ouais.
We had to narrow.
Once again, tough choice on who to include in this category.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you'll agree with some of the choices that we have here. Let's see who's in the arts and culture category.
OMG, okay. I work near there, and just, you know, you're feeling down. It's, you know, everything's weighing on you, and then you walk by that.
And you know you're going to be all right.
And you're just going to be all right, it says on the wall. So bravo to Kalkidana, Sefa Allen, Andre, and Jimmy Baptiste, who have been doing murals not just along Somerset West on Bank Street, but in other places as well, you know, just to color up the city and to remind people that Black art matters. We talk about Black lives matter, Black business matters, Black art matters.
Yes, well said. Who else do we have in their arts?
Listen, okay.
Did you attend?
Please. Of course I attended.
Oh, yes.
Of course I attended because as everybody knows, the festivals, we couldn't have outdoors festivals and we lived for those, no caravana, etc. But
Online, somebody was able to put it all.
Somebody was able to put the first ever Ottawa Afro World Festival online. So we had a watch party from home, and there were all kinds of different elements to it. There were panel discussions, there were dialogues. There was a fashion show. I loved me some fashion.
Yeah.
Yes, she had a fashion show up in there. She showcased Ottawa in such a spectacular way. I didn't even recognize this region.
It was very well done. I knew that's something that was supposed to be done in person. That would have been great. But watching it live, I knew
spectacular.
Oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
Great job. Yes.
And as part of the Afro World Festival, we had the I Have No Words project by Debbie Miller. Bravo, Debbie Miller, because really at a time when people just didn't know what to do with themselves with that George Floyd thing, the protests had happened, people were just infinitely upset and they didn't know what to do with their upset. Along comes photographer Debbie Miller.
Great
and
idea.
She captures all these images and all this video and she puts it together in the I Have No Words and then These Are My Words project, giving voice to our pain, vraiment pour nous laisser exprimer ce que nous on vit au jour le jour avec cette brutalité policière.
Très inspirant.
Oui, très inspirant. Bravo, Gwen Madiba and
Debbie Miller.
Debbie Miller. Yes. And we have a third. Listen, what a time to decide to launch a project like the Afro Black Cultural Center.
Let's open our doors. Oh.
Let's renovate a space. Let's do it downtown. And let's make this space a space where young Black creators, producers, artists, etc. can come, produce their work, and then market that work.
Yes.
And let us provide mentorship. Let's provide technical assistance to get that done. And so this was the brainchild of the wonderful Waiza Tangana, who is he is a spoken word artist.
Yes.
Lui, il évolue surtout en français, c'est un francophone. Et il a produit un album, Justice for Peace, Black Lives Matter. Et il a utilisé les recettes des ventes de ce CD pour financer ce centre culturel Afro-Black, justement pour contribuer à l'épanouissement des artistes dans notre région. Alors, merci, Waiza Tangana.
I hope you know all of those artists, all of those associations that we are mentioning. If
Please support them.
Learn about what they're doing. There's a lot of great work being done in the community, and sometimes we hear, "Oh, we don't know where to find that." This is one of the reasons we wanted to do this project, to highlight really all the great organizations, groups, artists, activists, people that are really doing a great work in the community.
So let's see what we have next.
We must have education.
Listen, okay, I know there's parents online and they're thinking, oh my gosh, 2020 was the year of online schooling and learning and work from home and trying to educate kids. We have heroes in that area, and we just wanted to single out a few that really stand out to us.
Okay. So who did we choose?
Yes, the first one is very familiar. Well, look at that.
Cadet.
Isn't it Adrienne Caudette?
The tireless
Adrienne Caudette, who's a teacher at Woodruff High School. She's been teaching there for quite some time.
Yes.
And my goodness, Miss Caudette, she is known by her students and her fans, managed to put together, to help actually students put together an online Black Youth Conference. And I didn't get to follow it, but I understand that it was a very empowering experience for a lot of the students and the educators also who got to be a part of that. Very important.
Yes, and we can attest that we know how hard it is to put stuff online. So great job, Adrienne, for getting that done.
And engaging a young audience, that really already struggling with trying to do the school thing and the mental health issues that comes with being cooped up at home. So Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you.
Who else do we have? Oh, well.
Doctor, have you?
Listen,
I'm
what
sure
are you
many of
doing?
you
Yeah.
online
Yes.
have attended one of those classes.
Yeah,
If
don't
not,
lie, you did. You
yeah.
did. Yeah.
If not, you need to check out
You need
Dr.
to
Clyde
check
Better.
out Dr. Clyde Better's African
Mhm.
history classes. My
Yes.
goodness, because last year, of course, there was the increased emphasis on learning more about Black struggle and Black achievement as
Mhm.
well. And so Jacques Conbit, thanks to Dr. Clyde Ledbetter, was able to supplement the
Yeah.
learning that our young people and our kids were doing with the regular curriculum to just, give them a better sense of belonging and to just expand their
Yes.
horizons in terms
Mhm.
of the Black experience.
And it's funny you say young people, but the class, he also had classes for.
I've been to the adult
That's it.
ones.
He has classes for all ages. So
Exactly.
it's not only young people, it's very, very informative. We invite you to check him out.
JacquesConbit.com to
Yes.
find out when the classes are coming up. And of course, thank you, America, for giving us Dr. Clyde Ledbetter. He is from Pennsylvania, I believe. He is very.
Well, he was. Now he's Ottawa.
He's
belongs
ours
to
now.
Ottawa. Yes.
He is ours now. He's staying, and we're not letting him go if
That's
he
right.
continues to provide such wonderful educational opportunities for our community.
All right. I think we have at least one more in education.
Yes.
Oh, of
we
course.
do.
Parents for Diversity.
Listen, the number of frantic emails and calls and texts I was getting from not just Black parents, but any parents concerned with inclusive material,
Yes.
inclusive educational material, whether it's books, videos, etc. Parents for Diversity to the rescue. Et je ne peux pas vous dire à quel point j'ai été tellement heureuse de pouvoir référer les gens à Parents for Diversity. Ils ont des ressources en anglais, en français. And they also provide support to parents with, whose kids are having issues in schools and things like that. So thank you so much.
Another great resource in the community.
Great resource.
And
Julia
if you haven't used
Monte,
the services,
yes.
check them out.
Merci. Please, and keep up the good work. For those of you who don't know Parents for Diversity, please look them up and seek them out.
Yes.
Listen, last but not least.
Media. Is that you?
That's my field.
Well, I'll step away then.
No, I have a particular affinity because this is my profession. But seriously, yes, the media played a big role in, highlighting what was going on in Minnesota and cities around the states and then around the world and here in Ottawa. But the reason we have media up there is because usually the stories were not being told from our perspective. And thank God we had these people to give an authentic voice to our lived experiences, our anguish, etc., and to really, yes.
And so who are they?
Yes. So let's see. Oh, well, listen. Everybody knows. Tout le monde les connaît.
Yes.
Ce sont les deux chefs d'antenne noirs d'Ottawa, en fait, les chefs d'antenne qui sont là depuis le plus longtemps.
Oui.
Oui.
And they're available to the community.
And so what's special about these two guys is they are Ottawa.
Yes.
Ottawa raised. They really are Ottawa. They, exude Ottawa. And the way they presented the coverage related to the marches and everything that came after that was done with such sensitivity. In a way, we're not used to seeing that on both their networks at all. And I especially commend them for putting their own personal experiences on the line. I watched Stefan participate in various media events where he really was bearing his soul about what it's like to be a Black man in this Canada. And Adrian Harewood, of course, talked about anti-Black racism in our field, in the media field, in such an authentic and way that you just had to admire that. They didn't have to do that, but they also felt compelled to be part of that movement.
Exactly.
To really let the audience know that it's not just Black lives that matter, it's Black experiences matter, Black perspectives matter as well.
Absolutely, well said. So Stefan, Adrian, thank you.
Merci beaucoup, messieurs. So
anybody else
next,
talking about Black experiences?
Listen, so this guy just, he was already well known to a certain part of, the universe, but he became known across Canada.
What do you do on Sundays? What do you watch on Sundays?
Sundays from 5 to 6, I'm tuned in to Black Canada Talking, people. Black Canada
Dr.
Talking.
Vibe.
Because Black Canada had been talking, but Black Canadian voices were not together on one platform focused on issues that matter to us. And along came the Dr. Vibe show to give us opportunities to do this. So Dr. Vibe, I mean, I really, really commend you, sir, for pretty much spending your entire life. This guy is on the air every single day at all hours of the day and night, making sure that Black perspectives and voices and expertise, because that's another thing he does and did during the pandemic, which was great. We got to hear from, the Black doctors and the Black specialists about different issues related to the pandemic. Alors, merci beaucoup, Dr. Vibe.
So if we want to listen to Dr. Vibe, I wonder how can we tune in? Maybe the next slide will let us know.
Well, look at that.
BIA Media.
Listen, and thanks to BIA Media, yes.
Where we are right now.
We are here because, as you know, I usually have a show on Rogers. Rogers was closed. There was nothing. Everything was shut down. And most TV studios were down to a skeleton staff or just completely stopped. BIA Media came to our rescue and enabled a Dr. Vibe to come to you every week with important information and interesting guests.
Dr. Vibe and many other voices.
Others, keeping it real with Paula, Patrick Auguste Ressois, and many.
Yeah, they have bilingual.
And it's in English, and it's in French, and it's a fabulous team that we're working with today.
So one thing I'd like to say about BIA Media, it's like when we talked about the pandemic and, we didn't know where to turn to. This became a foundation for us. This was very fundamental for all organizations. This was a way to pass, like we talked about Black Ottawa Connect before. Well, BIA Media pretty much the same thing. So if we wanted to get together, if we want to organize something, if we wanted to talk about different events, that was the way to do it. Check them out, BIA Media .ca. And if you have anything that you're planning,
please consider if you have virtual event, consider doing what we did with this fabulous company, BIA Media. And of course, we've been talking about broadcasting, but there's print media.
Yes.
Of course. So Black Ottawa Scene didn't miss a beat. Not at all.
So they
Godwin Ifedi, the founder of Black Ottawa Scene, was collecting stories, all of this online content, etc., to make sure that we stayed connected and informed.
Yeah.
Ce monsieur a commencé ce magazine en ligne, en fait, quand on a perdu The Spectrum. Il n'y avait plus The Spectrum. Et Black Ottawa Scene, c'est vraiment devenu
le magazine.
Un magazine qui nous permet de voir ce qui se passe dans la communauté.
Exactement.
Yes. So there you go, our top 20 of 2020.
And if you counted, there may have been a little bit more than 20 because some we had to double. We told you it was hard.
We couldn't choose.
Yes.
And thank you so much to Lisa Gay Price. Oh my goodness. Lisa Gay Price, who produced this particular slideshow. Thank you.
Yeah. One more thing, I think, with the top 20 of 2020.
Oh, yes.
RBC really wanted to find a way to support some of the organizations that we identified there. Donc, RBC voulait aussi supporter certaines des organisations que nous avons identifiées ici. Alors, ils ont choisi une catégorie. Community support on the frontline category. They decided to support them. And with Black History Ottawa, RBC will be contributing $500 to the 5 organizations that are identified in that category. And I can name them. It's we had Equal Chance, we had ACAL, Flow Senior, Presidential, and ACMP. So
we'll be contacting you after the event to make arrangements for that. And again, it was really difficult to choose, and really it was RBC that decided that really, given the situation, the frontline support is really who could use that money.
That money. And we thank them very much for continuing working with us and for even helping some of the organizations that we've identified that are doing a great work in the community.
Merci. Okay, are you ready for some music?
Oh, I think so. I think this should be ready for some music too.
But this is your project.
Yeah, I thought for this Black History Month, we should do something a little bit different. We talk about Black Ottawa Connect. We talk about getting together, supporting each other. So I contacted somebody in the community that has a lot of contact, but is also very, very talented. I asked and I told him, you know, we're planning this event. We'd like to have something special. And he got a few of his friends and they came up with this truly amazing song for us, especially for this event. We'll let you listen to the event
and then we'll come back.
to the song, and then we'll come back. Yes.
Once upon a time, before this world came to be, there were many kings and queens and dynasties, all living with the light of the divine knowledge. But man soon got greedy and stole the knowledge of what used to be. The time has come for you to remember the light within. Are you ready?
Let me tell you about a girl trying to navigate this cold world. Parents immigrated years ago. She born at General Hospital. She grew up on the south side of Ottawa, kicking it with them white girls. Yeah, when you believed her head could be straight. Relax a weaver, put it in braids. Yeah, it wasn't until 25. Yeah, she started living the natural life. Yeah, unlearning the self-hate. It's a long journey to be great. With kids of her own, now she raising. Teach them always be real, forget the fakeness. Adopted the name of Rita Carter, reclaimed who she was, now she go by name because I believe the future is bright, but I can't find it without your light. And all this darkness, can't be hoping, And I believe we'll build a new life where we won't have to fight for our rights. It's a promise, I believe this, I believe this.
Woke up holding my phone. Bluetooth feels so alone. I didn't want to connect, and there's a pain in my chest. I got outstanding debt, and there's a check for the rent of this collective regret. We paid to the bitter end. So what's a song gotta do to send me some kind of proof? Something to light up my bones as I walk to a bone with a rock in my shoe. And one is lucky to imagine it, and one is lucky to be quiet. Who hears the ringing bells? Who can afford to deny it?
'Cause I believe the future is bright, but I can't find it without your light. And all this darkness, can't be hoping, And I believe we'll build a new life where we won't have to fight for our rights. It's a promise, I believe this, I believe this, I believe this.
all. Hold on to your light and let it go.
Yeah, I got a secret. I dreamed big, but I couldn't reach it for so long. Loving myself, my biggest weakness. Cause self-hate broke up my home, left it in pieces. Now shoulda let it out or shoulda save it? I know freedom is real, I gotta taste it. I keep standing in the way of my own greatness, but I'm determined to face it like I was David. Cause my calling is sacred, I done brawl with complacence. Had my heart in the basement, now it's strong like a bracelet. I can fall into basic, just tomorrow gonna make it. I emerge as a victor, I'm no longer a victim. I hear voices of my elders and the sages. They gave up their all throughout the ages. They say,
What they say, Jay?
and for all we invented, now it's time that we claim it. We deserve all the praises.
I believe the future is bright, but I can't find it without your light. And all this darkness, can't be hopeless. And I believe we'll build a new life where we won't have to fight for our rights. It's a promise. I believe this. I believe the future is bright, but I can't find it without your light. And all this darkness, can't be hopeless. And I believe we'll build a new life where we won't have to fight for our rights. It's a promise. I believe this. I believe this.
And now, lit from within, all began to claim and step in to that royalty and share it across the galaxy.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Just Jamal the poet. When you commission that young man to do something, he always blows your mind.
And he brought along some great friends. We had Mehdi, Nambi, Silla, and some of you may have heard
Inuit
Jackie.
throat singers.
Yes,
Yeah.
we heard Jackie Detroit at the end there. And then this was produced as well by Next Generation Sound. So thank you all for this great production. Merci.
So this is another highlight of the program that people really enjoy, because we get to recognize members of the community who have been exhibiting some extraordinary community leadership. So if we can get...
And those are usually nominated by the community.
Okay, well, since we have the community leadership up, why don't I talk about that? So ACAO was founded less than a decade ago. The African Canadian Association of Ottawa, it's a volunteer-run umbrella organization that brings together over 50 African associations in the National Capital Region, and usually they organize vital information sessions about city and government programs and participate in advocacy efforts. However, during the pandemic, they have devoted much of their time and energy to collecting donations of food and essentials to distribute to financially stretched and isolated members of our community. And usually they also organize events like the Africa Day on the Hill and the Multiculturalism Day Festival. Next, who do we have? Who do we have next? Flow Seniors. Yes, Flow Seniors, Health and Care Programs Network, born out of a need to cater effectively to our Black seniors and their families by helping find information and resources at the most vulnerable point in their lives. And this organization was established in tribute to the late community stalwarts Florence and Milton Robinson. The organization is dedicated to promoting the well-being and independence of our older adults, and they did incredible work during this pandemic.
So those were the community organizations, and I think you have some individuals that were also
some individuals as well. So let's see. Yes. So we like to honor our young people, and my goodness, this young lady is something else. Yasmin Elmi is in her third year of the Translation Molecular Medicine program at the University of Ottawa. Yes, please. And she is the rep for the French cohort of this program. She's the community outreach leader of the Federation of Black Canadians Youth Council. And she is an active member of various students' associations, as well as a student mentor with the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program. She co-founded the Links Club, providing students with a mentor, as well as skills workshops to help them transition to online learning. It is great to see such a young person so invested in the academic success of her peers. Bravo, bravo, Yasmin. And we also have Rebecca Kahindo, and her story is truly inspiring. Fleeing the DRC at a young age to seek safety in Uganda, she ended up spending part of her childhood in a refugee camp before migrating to Canada. And despite the language barrier and other challenges, she managed to not only succeed in her studies, but to become a great humanitarian, raising funds through her organization, Building a Future, to help educate the kids she left behind in the DRC and in Uganda. Such altruism. Truly, truly inspiring. Bravo, Rebecca.
Bravo.
Listen, the President's Award. And for those of you who are going, wait, what? He's not a black person. What's that all about?
Yeah.
Well, this award was created some time back to really recognize an ally. And our Black community has found a great ally in Lawrence, who has garnered much media coverage for representing the family of the late Abdirahman Abdi and other people. He is a formidable philanthropist and tireless volunteer who has raised lots of money for and promoted organizations whose programs do benefit our community, like the United Way, Ontario East, and Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Merci, merci, Lawrence, you are a mensch.
And I believe we have to also mention our community. We're going to go.
Well, we're just going to go with what we have.
All right.
And this award is dear to me, so dear to me, because this award was created in honor of one of our biggest supporters of all time,
One of your
and
mentors.
my dear, dear beloved mentor, John G. Dennison. And this award recognizes an individual or an organization that has shown excellence in promoting Black Canadian history and heritage. This year, it goes to Brian and Shannon Prince, who hail from the historic Elgin Settlement and Buxton Mission, where their African-American ancestors found refuge after escaping slavery south of the border. Shannon is a sought-after storyteller and the curator of the Buxton National Historic Site and Museum, and Brian is a historian and board member of this same organization. They belong to a number of Canadian and American organizations educating the public about Underground Railroad-related history, and they've produced and participated in artistic productions celebrating our rich Black Canadian history, and I can assure you that the late John Dennison was a fan of their work and would have approved. So this is a special award, and we have June.
Yes, June Gervin, our president, from Every Child is Sacred, will make her special presentation for this award.
Since 2018, at the opening of Black History Month, Black History Ottawa has recognized those in the city who have adopted the United Nations Decade for People of African Descent. There are three pillars to the decade: development, recognition, and justice. The decade identifies people of African descent as a distinct group whose human rights must be protected and promoted. Adoptees of the decade are presented with the Jnekira Dinkanish Every Child is Sacred's safe, child-friendly community recognition.
Where are the individuals?
This recognition honors folks in the National Capital Region who pledge to honor all children of the Maple Leaf.
No,
Children, all human colors of the sun.
Bring them back.
So
No, bring them.
We honor those who honor the sanctity of the child's human rights, every child's human rights, bar none. those who honor the delicacy of the innate goodness of the child, and those who pledge to honor the magic of melanin, the beauty of of our children's diversity, each one feeling valued for their own uniqueness. Past recipients of this recognition are the City of Ottawa, the Faculty of Education, University of Ottawa, the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board, the Ottawa-Carleton Catholic Public School Board, the French Public School Board, and the French Catholic School Board. Today, 2021, we're pleased to recognize Councillor Diane Deans, Chair, Ottawa Police Services Board, and the members of the board. Mr. Paul Mantha, Principal of Religious and Family Life Education and Equity for the Catholic District School Board of Eastern Ontario, and the board. Rabbi Eden Sher and the congregation Magzikai Hadass, the Jewish Federation of Ottawa, and the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs. Commitment to the decade is historic. It is existentially important for all of us. It is a critical legacy to the generation for whom we will soon be history. Dear Deans, I put a request to you, you put a motion to the Ottawa Police Board to endorse the decade. All board members said yes to the motion. In doing so, they signaled to children of melanated skin tones that the Ottawa Police Services are now part of the Equalist Movement of Ottawa, EMO. And you are there for them. You are there for them to feel safe in their hometown. Mr. Mantha, on September 20, 2020, a painful event was reported in the news. You and I spoke. We talked about our collective responsibility to young minds who are identified as white and who find themselves inextricably cast and groomed to be an intergenerational traumatizer based on melanin quantum, skin color. We spoke of the intent of the decade. We spoke about how adopting its intent with seriousness can stop the spread, nurture children's inborn humanity, can heal intergenerational wounds, can nurture a more noble future for all of us. By Human Rights Day, December 10, 2020, under your leadership, the Catholic School Board, the Catholic District School Board of Eastern Ontario, had adopted the decade guided by the Golden Rule, Matthew 7:12. Rabbi Sher, in December 2019, we met. Our engagement from January 2020 through September 2020 was marked by hard conversations. On October 29, 2020, the decade was adopted by the congregation Magzikai Hadass, the Jewish Federation of Ottawa, and the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs. The adoption is inspired by and dedicated to the collaborative work of Rabbi Emeritus Dr. Reuven Bulka and Reverend Dr. Anthony Bailey, lead minister of Parkdale United Church. The adoption honors Rabbi Bulka's kindness work in Ottawa and Reverend Bailey's reconciliation work in Ottawa and their joint One Blood initiative. The adoption is based on the teaching of Hillel. What is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbor. This is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Your adoption also takes into account the conditions set by members of the community of African descent in Ottawa, Nothing about us without us. Blessings on you, Rabbi Sher, for the journey you chose to take with me. Blessings for the stamina that you have, the stamina that you had to stay the course with me. Blessings for your openness to hard and, for me, therapeutic conversations. Blessings for the commitment that you have to reconciliation and healing. All of this prepares Every Child is Sacred for its 2021 focus. Healing conversations for the best interests of generations. We applaud you, Chair Deans, Mr. Mantha, and Rabbi Sher. And to hear from our recipients, please do go to Black History Ottawa's website.
Oh, thank you, Elder June. Merci beaucoup, June. Votre sagesse, votre humanité nous touche et nous enseigne vraiment. You are reconciliation and healing personified. And thank you so much to you and all the people who have been doing this work of getting organizations and leaders to sign on to the decade and its objectives and reflect, again, the stated goals in their work and their services. So we're going to continue now with some individuals who have earned this year's 2021 Black History Ottawa Community Builder Awards. Yes. So who do we have? Yes, Gwenaël Mubuyi, who we all know as Gwen Madiba. She's an award-winning international speaker, fashion designer, model, artist, as well as being a passionate children and women's rights advocate and anti-racism activist. She founded the organization Equal Chance a few years ago and has since volunteered over 2,000 volunteer hours supporting vulnerable mothers and youth, co-organizing the historic No Peace Until Justice March in June 2020. And recently, she helped raise over $30,000 in 3 days to help a single mother and her 3 sons move out of a mold-ridden lodging into safe housing. Merci, Gwen, de tout ton travail. Who do we have next? Next, we have the amazing, we mentioned her earlier, Risa Solomon St. Louis, who is well known to the community as an award-winning chef and owner of the catering business Bacchanal. Her delicious culinary creations have been featured on local TV and farmers markets around the city. But last year, she joined other restaurateurs using their cooking skills to help provide meals to seniors and frontline workers. And with her sister Tracy, of course, she launched Afrotecture, an online platform to help small businesses and artisans hit by the pandemic. Merci, Lisa. Ensuite, nous avons Brenda Williams, c'est la fondatrice de New Life Project Incorporated. C'est un organisme à but non lucratif qui utilise les fonds recueillis de la vente de tenues africaines, d'accessoires, de décors pour financer des programmes éducatifs et de formation destinés à des femmes. Et ils utilisent aussi l'argent pour acheter des fournitures scolaires pour des enfants vulnérables en Afrique de l'Ouest. And at the New Life headquarters, Brenda has offered French tutoring and craft classes for children and youth, as well as sewing classes. And during the pandemic, she volunteered to make face masks to help stop the spread. And then we have our next recipient. If we can get our next recipient.
While we're waiting, I must say that this is from Brenda's.
Yes. Can you model it so we can see? Yes.
I'm not a model.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So you can get a nice shirt like that from New Life over on Thurston Drive, right?
Yes, right.
In close to South Ottawa. Oh my goodness. What an inspiring person. You know, there are people who cave into despair when tragedy strikes, and then there's Marie Oubline. Après avoir perdu sa sœur bien-aimée, à cause de problèmes de dépendance et de maladies mentales. Mario Blin a consacré ses énergies à offrir le genre de soutien et de service qui éviterait à d'autres le même malheur qui est arrivé à sa famille. So she created the Fabiola's Addiction and Mental Health and Awareness and Support Foundation to help families and individuals find appropriate counseling and other resources, and especially to help eliminate the stigma associated with mental illness.
In the Black community, for sure.
I believe we have one more. No?
No.
If we can go all the way to the end, to the very, very last.
For special recognition to somebody
not
that's...
least, because it's special recognition.
So I want to
Ralston King.
Yes.
Yes, if we can get Ralston King up there. There we go.
Yes.
So listen, this guy is in a class by himself. So we had to create a special category for him. Special recognition goes to Ralston King. Long before he became the City of Ottawa's first Black councillor, Ralston was an active volunteer leader with organizations like the Rideau Rockcliffe Community Resource Center and the Overbrook Community Association, helping develop and advance crime prevention, social inclusion, and youth empowerment programs. And in his first year in office, Ralston secured funding for the establishment of the city's anti-racism secretariat, and many of us regularly see him out and about in the community, supporting all manner of events, attending all manner of community meetings, offering advice, etc. He pretty much is our ears and eyes at City Council, and we have a formidable ally at City Council in Councillor King. And so there you have it. So listen, they all prepare videos with their reflections and remarks. You will be able to find all of their speeches on the Black History Ottawa website in the coming days.
Yes, in the coming days.
We got quite a few of these videos, so we'll be putting them up. Nous allons afficher leurs vidéos sur le site web de Black History Ottawa, blackhistoryottawa.org. Et là, vous pourrez aller les écouter.
Entendre,
non seulement les écouter, mais en apprendre plus
sur
toutes ces personnes et ces organismes qu'on vient de citer.
OK. Parfait. Merci, Sarah. Et puis, nous allons passer maintenant à une autre performance de Makeda Cosper.
One more time.
Yes.
One more time.
All right.
Makeda Cosper. Let's do this.
Don't know how, but you did it. Yeah, you made a way. Standing here, not knowing how we'll get through this day, but holding on to faith, you know best. Nothing can catch you by surprise. You got this figured out. You're watching us now. And when it looks as if we can't win, you wrap us in your arms and step in. Everything we need, you supply. You got this in control, and now we know that you made a way. When our backs were against the wall, and it looked as if it was over, you made a way. And we're standing here only because you made a way. Yeah, you made a way. And now we're here, looking back on where we've come from. Because of you and not what we've done to deserve the love and mercy you've shown. Your grace was strong enough to pick us up. You made a way when our backs were against the wall and it looked as if it was over. You made a way, and we're standing here only because you made. Oh yes, you made a way when our backs were against the wall and it looked as if it was over. God, you made a way, and we're standing here only because you made a way. You move mountains, you cause the walls to fall with your power. You perform miracles. There is nothing that's impossible, and we're standing here only because you made. Yes, you move mountains. You cause the walls to fall with your power. You perform miracles. There is nothing that's impossible, and we're standing here only because you made. You move a mountain, God, and you cause every wall to fall with your mighty, mighty power. You perform miracles. There is nothing that's impossible. And we're standing here only because you made. Yes, we're standing here only because you made. God, we're standing here only because you made a way. God, you made a way. I don't know how, but you did it. God, you made a way. God, you made a way. Yes, God, you made a way.
Oh, thank you, Makeda. Merci, Makeda.
Yes,
and
thank you.
what a fitting song to just introduce the next really small segment. We lost some amazing supporters in 2020.
Yeah.
And
Young and old.
yes, just supporters, some long-time supporters, and we just wanted to acknowledge the following people.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
may
did
they
lose.
all rest in peace, really, and we thank them for their support.
Absolutely. And it is a part of a program where we do want to thank some of
Yeah, we're at the end now.
supporters. Yeah, we're at the end. So people that have worked with us over the whole year 2020. Many organizations that have donated to Black History Ottawa. Some have organized even fundraising events. And I think we have a slide that just quickly says who those
Oui,
organizations
merci
are.
beaucoup à
Oui.
tous ces donateurs.
Oui. Donc, ça, ici, nous avons nos commanditaires officiels. RBC, qu'on a mentionné, qui a fait le Top 20 2020, qui travaille avec nous depuis 2015. We recently had a new sponsor come to work with Black History as well, Gabriel Pizza. Thank you to BIA Media once again, Phil Trash. And we have somebody that will do the vote of thanks, so I don't want to say too much about it, but this, we just wanted to show some of our sponsors. And also, we have a slide showing the supporters or organizations that worked with us and raised funds for Black History Ottawa during 2020.
C'est ça, durant une pandémie. Hein.
Oui.
Mine de rien.
Oui, alors voici ces organisations, beaucoup d'organisations étudiantes et même des corporations ont organisé des activités pour faire des levées de fonds pour Black History Ottawa. Donc, we'd like to thank these organizations. There's a student association. We have the Alpha Pi Phi sorority at Carleton University that organized a fundraiser for us and a book drive. Bithead company with their employees, they did different events to raise funds for us. We had a local musician, Matt McKenney, that organized an online concert, and the University of Ottawa Black Students Leaders Association. They also organized an event, and they got the University of Ottawa to match the funds and all those to help support Black History Ottawa. We also had people on the Canada Helps. There was the Black Solidarity Fund. So to everyone that donated to Black History Ottawa, thank you. And we also remind you that you could go on our website, click the donate button, so we could keep doing this great work of representing not only Black History Ottawa, but as you see, to showcase all the great organizations in the community. And now on to Joanne Robinson, who will make the vote of thanks.
Hello, we hope that you all enjoyed our virtual opening. Congratulations once again to our awards recipients. This event, although difficult, was made possible by our various volunteers, performers, goodwill messages from our elected officials. Canada Post, we call her our very own, Liz Wong, and a very special thank you to Lisa Gay Price for the flyer, PowerPoint presentation, and assistance with our Sarah Onyango. BIA Media, we thank you for your assistance and technical support. Filtrage, thank you for the graphic designs and marketing materials and reports. Thank you all so much for attending. One of the things I would like to remind you of before I go is please check out our website at blackhistoryottawa.org for the upcoming events for the rest of the month. Remember, Black History Month is not just February, it's every month. And on a personal note, Jean-Marie Guerriere and Sarah Nyango, from all of us, the board, thank you so much for your efforts in putting this event together. Have a good evening.
And there we are. Well, there we are.
Whew, we did it.
Yes, we did. Our first virtual Black History Month launch.
I hope you guys enjoyed it at home.
Oui. J'espère que cet événement vous a plu. And as Joanne said, please check out our website, not just because it's our website, but because there are events by other organizers that are happening throughout the year. And I hope that you guys are going to now attend the Gatineau Black History Month, parce que nos amis de l'autre côté de la rivière ont aussi leur lancement pour le mois d'histoire des Noirs.
And thank you all for your great words in the chat. We see it.
Oui, on a vu vos commentaires, vos encouragements. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much for sending us all those wonderful messages and support.
All right.
Yeah,
it's time
we're
for
done.
us to go. Yes.
Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Happy Black History Month, everybody.